Since we are approaching 1 week out from the 2023 Arnold Classic, I think it's time to release my predictions for the open class bodybuilding. This lineup is very hard to predict. The top 6 could easily go in any order. It's going to come down to a couple things: who shows up in shape and who gets peaked properly. Many competitors have been posting regular updates, so we have a decent idea where most guys are at in their prep. In 10th place, I have Kamal. Kamal is a 212 competitor, so he is moving up to compete with the open class guys. I just don't think he has the mass to be competitive. His front shots do look good, but the back shot, I just don't think he is there with the size or detail, especially in the glutes and hamstrings. Kamal has somehow managed to make continuous improvements into his 50s, and I applaud him for that. It is very rarely done, but he just does not stand a chance in this lineup, in my opinion. At number 9, I have Justin Rodriguez. I have been saying it the whole prep. I don't think his conditioning is where it should be. Looking at this back double, I don't see any detail in the glutes or hamstrings, and it looks like he's carrying some body fat on the lower back. This is very concerning at an almost 1 week out. His front shots and upper body are looking good though. Conditioning is better here, but he definitely holds more fat in the lower body. And this can be misleading, as he posts updates of his upper body looking extremely dialed in, when really, his lower body is not caught up yet. Justin has good size, but the fact that he has competed so much in the last year, I think that is catching up with him and is making it very hard to diet down to contest shape. His body just needs a break, I think. In number 8, I have Patrick Moore. I know a lot of people have been counting him out since day one, but I think his conditioning is right where it should be. You can see the striations in his chest, and he has definitely made improvements to his back. He has not posted any updates recently of his lower body, so I can't comment on that, but in my opinion, his legs were never a weak point for him, so I'm not really worried. I think he will bring an overall improved package since his last competition, most definitely with added size. And this will earn him a 7th place finish, which is pretty respectable in this lineup. In number 7, I have Akeem Williams. I was a little skeptical about his conditioning in late January, early February, but from the looks of it, Akeem has been able to bring it together, as you can clearly see the detail in his hamstrings, quads, and the glutes are very close. Akeem does seem to have a thick skin, so once he depletes and then carbs up peaks for the show, his upper body will look much more dry and conditioned. I've never been a fan of his back though, simply because of where the lats insert, which makes his lower body look small. This gives the appearance of a long torso. Akeem does have good upper body size, especially in the delts and arms, and this will all get him a 7th place finish. And now as we get into the top 6, this is where things get much more difficult to predict. In 6th place, I have William Bonak. William struggled at the Olympia last year with some peaking issues, earning him a 9th place finish. I do think he will have these issues sorted, since this show is usually way more streamlined than the Olympia. As we know, Bonak placed 2nd last year behind Brandon Curry, so he is well familiar with this show. His conditioning looks very on point for a little over 1 week out. I think he will most definitely be improved since the Olympia, but the rumors of his kidney issues are a bit concerning to me. He has also had some issues with his waist, needing to kind of bring it in a bit, but I am not convinced with these photos that he has done that. In 5th place, I have Clarita. He was the most difficult to place because his overall physique is essentially flawless. He has a very 3D look, similar to a Ronnie Coleman or Phil Heath. Many people are even saying he could win the show, but I think size is going to come into factor, and when he gets compared to the bigger guys, his physique just won't look as impressive. Sean is only 5'1" and competes at a weight around 180 to 190 pounds. Some of his competitors are 5'9" to 6 feet, and they all compete at around 260 to 290. That is just too much of a size difference for me, and it will hinder his placement. I know he has beat guys that are 6 feet before, but they were just not the same caliber of this lineup. In number 4, I have Big Ramy. As we know, Big Ramy was down a considerable amount of mass from the 2021 Olympia to the 2022, falling from 1st to 5th. Ramy had suffered muscle atrophy in the triceps, lower back, and calf. Recently, Ramy had stem cell treatment to fix these issues, so I think Ramy will be improved from the Olympia. His back does look slightly improved, but his triceps are still gone, one still being smaller than the other. Based on Ramy's current conditioning, I think he is going into this show trying to be as big as possible to hide the issues, so his conditioning is not going to be spot on. Even with all these issues though, I think the sheer mass that Ramy still has, and just who he is, will earn him a 4th place finish in this Arnold Classic. And in 3rd place, I have Andrew Jacked. Andrew has been working with Chris Psycho Lewis and Chris Aceto leading up to this show. He has actually been living with Chris, training twice a day. I think Andrew will definitely be improved in the Olympia. He is finally training as a bodybuilder, and he is healthy. Whereas leading into the Olympia, he had fallen sick, and that very much affected how he could train and diet. The reason I have him in 3rd is I just don't think there was enough time to improve his back and thickness to beat Samson or Nick. And the training twice a day with no days off is a bit concerning. I know Chris has this down to a science, but I'm scared Andrew's body will be fried and not be able to peak properly, or have issues with his conditioning, something Andrew also needed improvements on. With that being said, I think Andrew will most definitely be a force to reckon with if he continues to train with Chris Lewis for this year's Mr. Olympia. In second place, I have Samson Dauda. Based on all the updates we have seen from the competitors, I think Samson has by far made the most improvements from the Olympia. It appears that he has made substantial improvements to his back and overall thickness, an area that was previously his weakness. Samson's conditioning also looks extremely on point. Right now, he is looking much better than he was at 1 week out from the Olympia. Samson has said that this has been the hardest prep he has done to date, so we know how much that he wants this and how hard he is working. I think a second place finish for Samson in this lineup is an incredible achievement for him. And last but not least, in first place, I have Nick Walker. Nick finished in third place at the Olympia. Some may argue that he should have placed in second even. Nick has an overall very complete physique, little to no flaws. He brings a very hard, dense package, a freakish look really, and the biggest arms in the show. Nick is a complete knockout with his side tricep, most muscular, and back double. The one thing Nick needed work on was his waist, and from all the updates Nick has been posting, he has definitely worked on this, and his waist is very much in and tighter. I just think Nick is on another level in comparison to all of these guys in this lineup, and it's a sure shot victory for him. Nobody really even comes close to him, in my opinion. And with this win, Nick will have won at every pro show he has competed in besides the Olympia, which he is bound to win. Nick is only 28 years old and has many years left to competing, so this is only the start of all his victories. If he keeps this up, he's going to solidify himself as being one of the best bodybuilders of all time, and we are all witnesses. But anyway, guys, that's my predictions for this year's 2023 Arnold Classic. Let me know in the comments if you think this is accurate or not. And please, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.